Since I first started monitoring the animal movements in the Hoedspruit Wildlife Estate in 2014, over 23 different leopards have used the 600-hectare piece of bushveld. I know this thanks to trail camera footage that I've collected at strategically selected locations right throughout the estate. Routes that they often walk, burrows where they hunt, trees where they mark, and holes along the boundary fence where they come in and out of the property. But what I've been wondering for years is, where do the leopards go when they leave the Hoedspruit Wildlife Estate? And now, over a decade after I put out my first trail camera, I finally have the answer thanks to one very dedicated woman. Welcome to episode 6 of the Wildlife Estate Diaries, brought to you by Wild Heart Safari Accommodation. Before I tell you more about the amazing leopard research that's currently being done in the area, let's rewind to the 24th of March 2014 when I saw my very first leopard on the Hoedspruit Wildlife Estate. I remember it like it was yesterday. My wife Tabby and I were having coffee on the veranda at about 6 o'clock in the morning when we heard some vervet monkey alarm calls coming from the greenbelt. So we jumped in the car and we raced to where it was coming from, and as we were driving right here, a massive male leopard came walking down Guinea Fowl Road. His name was Big Boy and he was super relaxed. Over the following year, we frequently saw him around our house, driving back from town and on game drives on the estate. But by mid-2015, Big Boy vanished overnight. A couple of months later, however, an even bigger male took over his place, Houdini. I called him Houdini because he mysteriously escaped from a capture cage that was placed here in the estate to try and capture Big Boy. Because Big Boy was so relaxed, a lot of the residents in the estate was a little bit worried that he might be an easy target for hunters surrounding the wildlife estate. So they wanted to put a radio collar on him to keep track of his movements. But by the time that the cage was placed out, Big Boy was long gone. Instead, another leopard got trapped in the cage, and remarkably, the trail camera footage that was monitoring the cage showed that one moment he was inside, and the next moment he vanished. Houdini. Houdini was very active in the greenbelt throughout 2016 and 2017, making kills and mating with the resident females, but he was hardly ever seen. It's only thanks to my trail cameras that I was aware of his movements. In the years that followed, 3 different dominant males used the Hoedspruit Wildlife Estate. Junior, a relaxed and handsome young male, was frequently seen in the east of the estate near Fish Eagle Dam for the first half of 2016. A much older, scruffier looking male, Mawuzi, took over from Houdini and reigned from June 2017 to November 2019. And then, a week later, Mafu showed up. Now, Mafu's story is an interesting one because he was actually born here in the Hoedspruit Wildlife Estate in 2015. And his mother, Kalua, has been a resident dominant female in the estate for over 11 years. Many of you will know her as the old one-eyed female that makes regular appearances in the Wildlife Estate Diaries. When I first started capturing images of Mafu in March 2016, he was still a young boy. But now he's a massive dominant male that reigns over the whole Hoedspruit Wildlife Estate. He often visits this marking tree near Heron Dam that's monitored by Sharon's camera, either rasping, scraping or scent marking on the tree itself. Now, believe it or not, but you can actually come and stay less than 200 meters away from this exact tree if you make a booking at Wild Heart Safari Accommodation. This luxurious self-catering lodge consists of 3 units that can either be booked separately or together for one large group. The largest is Wild Heart Safari Main, which can accommodate up to 6 guests in 3 rooms, each with an ensuite bathroom. It also has a large, fully equipped kitchen, inside and outside lounges, a swimming pool and a lovely braai area overlooking the surrounding bushveld. The 2 other units, Zesty Zebra and Lion's Den, are slightly smaller and perfect for couples who want a private getaway. They each have a double bed and an ensuite bathroom, along with a small kitchen and lounge inside and a plunge pool and braai area outside. Visitors can explore the estate on foot, with a bicycle, with your own vehicle or even from horseback. And just 5 minutes away there are a variety of shops and quality restaurants to choose from in town. If you'd like to learn more or make a booking at Wild Heart Safari Accommodation, go and check out the link that I've added at the top of the video description. Right, let's talk more about Mafu. Mafu actually had a twin sister called Mila, and she disappeared from the estate before the end of 2016. And that's a big flaw that you may have noticed if you only monitor one estate, farm or property. You have no idea what happens to these leopards once they leave. And that's where the Ingwe Research Program comes in. In January, I met with its director to discuss the leopards of the Hoedspruit Wildlife Estate, and I asked her to tell us a little bit more about her project.
My name is Marine Servonnat, and I've been running the Ingwe Research Program since November 2022. The Ingwe Research Program is a citizen science project in the Hoedspruit area, and it's involving 35 reserve and over 26 different lodges and partners, and also 380 plus citizen scientists that have been contributing to the project. So basically people are monitoring leopard in the area by sharing sightings and GPS location and date and time of those leopards. And what's been fantastic is that since I started the project, it's over 8,000 images that have been submitted and over 6,000 unique encounters of leopards in the area. So we're building quite a strong database. So what's been fantastic with the project is that because there's so many people contributing, we have a much bigger understanding of how many leopards are in the area, where are they going. So instead of only knowing what's happening in your own reserve, in your own bubble, now we have an understanding at a much bigger scale. So we know where the leopards are dispersing. Are the leopards dispersing? Are they crossing different infrastructures or roads? And then sometimes people believe that the leopards disappeared, but actually they just might have gone to the neighboring property. So this allows us to streamline information and to have everything under one umbrella, to have a much better understanding of the leopard population in the area.
What many of you might not know is that 20 years ago I did my master's thesis on leopard movements to try and get a better understanding of the leopard population of Botswana's northern Tuli Game Reserve. I, however, did not have the luxury of citizen scientists helping me out. I monitored specific leopards' movements by fitting them with radio collars, allowing me to determine their exact movements, activity patterns, and home range sizes. Once I knew how they used their environment in that specific reserve, I placed out 30 trail cameras to monitor the population as a whole, capturing images of uncollared leopards as well. What this allowed me to do was to calculate a density estimate for the area, a figure that would ultimately be used to help answer the million-dollar question. How many leopards are there? Here in and around Hoedspruit, Marine has already identified 140 different leopards over the last 3 years, all thanks to passionate residents, guides and farmers who have been willing to share their leopard sightings with her and the Ingwe Research Program. If you live in the area, this is how you can get involved.
If people would like to participate to Ingwe Research Program and become a citizen scientist, and if you have camera traps in your garden or in your property, or if you see a leopard, you can share all of those data with Ingwe directly. So the only thing I need is images or videos, GPS location, date and time, and then all of this can be sent via email or via a mobile app.
I took Marine past some of my trail cameras that have captured the most leopard activity in recent months and enjoyed learning more about where exactly leopards like Mafu, Kulua and Za's two boys, Vushika and Ekwindla, go when they leave the Hoedspruit Wildlife Estate. By the way, thanks to ChatGPT, I gave you incorrect meanings for these two boys' names in the previous episode of the Wildlife Estate Diaries. Vushika actually means winter in Tsonga and Ekwindla means autumn in Ndebele. While we were chatting, Marine told me about a very exciting new project that they're launching this year.
In 2025, Ingwe is going to be focusing on a completely new project. It's called the Road Ecology Project. And we're going to be looking at a stretch of road that in 2024 killed 6 leopards. And there was also another 2 leopards that were killed on a perpendicular road and on the railway. So we realized there was quite a big issue, and we are looking at understanding what is happening on these roads. So what we want to do a survey that will help us assess where are animals being killed. So we're looking, of course, at leopards, but also at any wildlife. So like hotspots of road kills, but also hotspots of where animals are crossing that stretch of road. And what is really, really important that we need to collect data before even looking at implementing potential solutions that will mitigate those risks. And without those data, we can't find the right solution and we will not know where what to implement and where, basically. We are going to be trying to involve the people of Hoedspruit. We are going to ask people to actually log sightings of roadkills or of animal crossing along the road. So this can also be done via the mobile app. And we are also going to look at the culverts that go under the road. So we want to try to understand, are the animals actually using those culverts? Like how often, where, which one, and which species also are using those culverts. And to do so, we actually would like to put camera trap on each side of the culverts and try to have an understanding what is happening under our road, because that could be one of the easiest and simplest mitigation measures that can actually be used to reduce wildlife collisions.
If you ask me, this is an amazing project, and for it to be successful, Marine's going to need loads and loads of trail cameras to monitor all those culverts and the hotspots along the roads. So there are a few different ways that you can help. If you'd like to sponsor a new trail camera, simply visit the link that I've added in the video description and then click on Inquire Now. If you'd like to make a financial contribution, visit their website and click on the donations page and then scroll to the bottom where you'll find the bank details. I've linked to that in the video description as well. And then lastly, if you have a trail camera of your own that you'd like to donate to the project, simply email Marine on marine@ingweresearchprogram.org. And if you're wondering what's going to happen to the cameras once the road project is completed,
the cameras are going to be set up 2 times for 3 months on those culverts, and then once they're not in use for the culvert specifically, we're going to put those cameras in what I call like blind spots in our study area. So those cameras will really help us understanding what's happening in location where perhaps there's no one going on game drive or there's no one having habitation. So these are going to cover our blind spots, and I'm really excited to get cameras for those locations.
I can't wait to see how this project develops and what their findings are. But what I do know is that the leopards of the Hoedspruit Wildlife Estate and the surrounding areas are better off because of the Ingwe Research Program. You'll have to wait until episode 7 of the Wildlife Estate Diaries to see what's been happening in front of my trail cameras over the past few months. So in the meantime, go and show your support by following those links in the video description. As always, I also want to thank the people from all over the world that make monthly donations on Patreon. None of this would be possible without you. Special shout out to my Pangolin tier patron, Simon Wakenshaw. Until next time.